Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Emma Bourne. I was just going to do a quick overview of recent developments and then hand over to Jordan, who's just going to give you a bit of a recap of where we are against the circular economy roadmap, which we shared with you just after the election. I think probably the sort of headline item to reflect on is the recent budget, and we included in the newsletter a sort of summary of the main aspects of the budget that are relevant to our shared work. But just to recap for the purposes of this group, the budget explicitly reconfirmed the government's commitment as set out in the manifesto to transition to a zero waste circular economy, and set out some initial steps, I think, on that journey. And I would sort of underscore seeing them as the first steps as further work is ongoing to sort of develop the wider circular economy strategy and sector-based roadmaps. And in those initial steps, there was a reconfirmation of our commitment to deliver the collection and packaging reforms to the previously agreed public timelines, and we have therefore received the funding necessary to support that. There was a commitment to guarantee local authority payments relating to EPR. So in the event that such payments were not fully available through EPR fees, which is obviously not a scenario that we're working towards, but in that scenario, they would be guaranteed. Now, the value of that, I think, is providing sort of confidence to local authorities of the level of investment that they should expect. And therefore, we would encourage local authorities to move ahead with conversations with a range of local partners about putting in place the investments and the services that investment that can support. So in particular, thinking about the sort of scope and level of collection and recycling services they are able to offer in their communities. It confirmed a HMRC-led piece of work that we have been supporting in relation to adopting a mass balance approach for chemical recycling as part of the plastic packaging tax. And it confirmed a restoration of the real term value approach to the landfill tax following recent inflation levels, which therefore increases the investment that can come from the landfill tax into local community funds for those operating and living near landfill sites. So as I say, there was a range of commitments there sort of setting out a direction of travel, and I sort of expect more to come as we start our preparations. The ink is not yet dry on the budget, but we are starting our preparations for the next spending review in the spring next year. That will be a multi-year settlement, so obviously a really important vehicle for setting out that longer term agenda and expectations as we work towards that overall manifesto commitment. In that spirit, we have been working across the summer to mobilise a circular economy task force, and I'd like to thank all those on the call who have played a part in that. We had an overwhelming almost level and quality of applications. We are finalising that at the moment, and probably at the next meeting we can walk you through that final task force and hopefully introduce you to some of the members. Given the scale and quality of the nominations that came forward as well, we're hoping to draw on all of the help that was offered, and once formalised, we will be working with the task force to establish a series of probably kind of subject matter specialist working groups who can support the task force in their work and bring in some deep expertise across a broader range of parts of the economy. But we are not taking our foot off the pedal of the existing delivery, and there has been lots of really good progress across existing commitments and lots to come in the weeks and months to follow. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Jordan, who's going to give you a bit of a recap of recently achieved milestones and what is in the pipeline.
Hi all, I'm Jordan, and I'll just quickly run you through where we are on our delivery roadmap, provide a further update from when we last presented back in September. So we remain keen to help you orientate yourselves across our programme and reforms and see the logic and sequence of our work. So we hope that transparency continues to help you plan and prepare with greater clarity and confidence. Same as the forum back in September, I'm showing the most up-to-date roadmap, but please be aware these dates are all subject to change and normal flexes you'd expect from any major programme and other factors like any future spending reviews and parliamentary scheduling. So please see this as a living document, and we'll update and share periodically through these sessions or through the newsletter. We've continued to make strong progress over recent months, including laying of legislation and the second version of the PPR base fees. And as Emma mentioned, the government has recently reconfirmed their commitment to collection packaging reforms in the autumn budget presented by the Chancellor at the end of October. And the delivery of this programme has not always been straightforward, as most of you will know, but we remain in a more stable position and continue to build momentum as we go towards our go lives over the next year. So recent key milestones that we've delivered. So in September, we published the version 2 of the base fees, and this publication was another really important milestone for us to stay on our critical path for delivery of the overall reforms. At the beginning of October, the Materials Facilities SI came into force, and finally at the end of October, the deadline for producers to submit their data for Jan to June 24 came to a close. So if we just go on to, we'll stay on this slide, sorry, if we go back. Forthcoming milestones. Ministers continue to review final policy position for simpler recycling. So we're hoping to share the outcome as soon as possible with everyone, but it's on there on the roadmap. This month, we expect to be able to allow local authorities to provide data to support the 2026 to 27 payments. And we also intend to share indicative payments to local authorities over the next few weeks. We go on to the next slides, please. And running into next year, PPR regulations will come into effect at the start of January. DRS regulations will come into force around January, February. For simpler recycling in March, will require collection of dry recycling and food waste for businesses. For waste tracking, our ministers are currently reviewing the policy, including timeframes. We hope to be able to issue an update as soon as possible to all our stakeholders for this. We intend to publish our final base fees in the summer of next year, and confirming that DRS go live is still on track for October 27. So as I said at the start, please consider this as a really live document, and dates are all subject to change, but we will continue to share these periodically with you all. And any feedback you have for these slides or any of the roadmap bits, please do reach out to us and we'll take them forward. Thanks all.